Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on the Gooners and Gloves Podcast channel. In today's video, it's going to be the 33rd Gooners and Gloves Podcast, and I'm going to be going over my thoughts and reactions to the Carabao Cup quarter-final game between Arsenal and Crystal Palace at the Emirates. This was an absolute thriller, a crazy game, very hectic, loads took place, 5 goals shared between the two teams in what was a very entertaining game. So I'm going to go over what I thought of the performance, who I thought some of the star players were, how I feel about our chances in the Carabao Cup, and just a few other things. So pretty much let's just get straight into it. So of course, as I mentioned, this was 3-2, a really great game, and massive respect to Crystal Palace. They made this a tough game for sure, definitely, and huge respect to the away support as well. They had 6,000 fans at the Emirates, which is really good going, and they were loud throughout the game. So massive respect to Crystal Palace, and funnily enough, we're actually playing them again this week as well on Saturday, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. But yeah, now of course, in terms of how the game started, it got off to the worst possible start, as within 4 minutes Crystal Palace opened the scoring. A really nice ball delivered by Dean Henderson, and then Jean-Philippe Mateta just completely overpowers Kiwior. And as much as I've said before, I like Kiwior and I don't like having to criticize him, unfortunately this was another rough game for him, and this right here was the catalyst of that whole rough performance. Really poor defending from Kiwior. I mean, I can't really say it any other way. He defended really poorly here. Just completely allowed Jean-Philippe Mateta to overpower him. And then Jean-Philippe Mateta taps it in, gets a really nice finish, gets it past Raya, and opens the scoring for Crystal Palace. And of course, this is what you always don't want to happen in a game like this, because then of course, once the team scores, they get some confidence, and naturally they're going to start to defend more, and that's fine, you know, when that's exactly the point. You want to defend the result. So this is why you never want to concede early in any sort of game, but especially not in one like this, because then of course, you know, you give the other team the opportunity to sort of just defend and just kind of allows for, you know, more defending from the other team, and you never want that, and that is what happened. Palace, of course, after their goal began to defend more, and so it began to be more difficult for us to create chances. And yeah, and I do have to be honest, the first half was really poor. Honestly, might have been the worst half of football we've played all season, and that's why this is a game that I would definitely once again describe as a game of two halves. While the first half was genuinely one of the worst halves of football we've played all season, the second half was a fantastic half, and probably the best half, not the best, but like one of the best halves of football. So a very, very up and down sort of game. In the first half, probably one of the worst halves of football we've played. In the second half, genuinely one of the best of the season. But yeah, carrying on with the first half, from there, as expected, you know, Palace did create a couple of chances, but naturally they did find the goal. They opened the scoring, so of course once you've opened the scoring, you're going to want to just defend, which is completely fine. Nothing against Palace for doing that. They scored, they're allowed to do that, so that's what they did. They started defending more, and naturally it became more difficult for us to create any sort of chances. Our flow wasn't really there. You know, the only one who was really creating anything was Trossard, and even Trossard I didn't think had a particularly great game. But yeah, moving on to later on in the first half, and I have to mention this, Sterling missed an absolute sitter. I'm still so baffled how Sterling missed this. So Trossard puts in a nice ball to Sterling. Sterling follows it up, and Henderson saves it, and that's fair enough. But then somehow he hits it, and instead of getting it into the empty net, he hits the crossbar. I mean, it was simply not an acceptable chance to be missing. I don't know how Sterling missed this chance, but yeah, so hits it at Henderson. Henderson saves, fair enough. But then the follow-up should absolutely have gone in. There was no way you could be missing that. He hit it like upwards. He seemed to kind of go under the ball, and instead of hitting it into the empty net that was right in front of him, he hit it into the crossbar. So I did think that was quite an unacceptable chance to be missed. And yeah, eventually we headed into the second half, still 1-0 down, and naturally as a result, Arteta began to make some changes. He put on some of the more senior players. So of course he put on William Saliba. So obviously, and very glad he put on William Saliba. Our defense instantly improved. Seriously, the difference was just crazy. As soon as Saliba came on, the defense was impeccable. Seriously, like, the difference is just unbelievable. Of course, I know that we did concede a second goal, and believe me, we will get onto that goal in a little bit, because that was just one of the most ridiculous headers ever. It was a fantastic goal, but we will get onto that in a little bit. But yeah, William Saliba comes on, and yeah, from there the game carries on, the game continues, and yeah, Saka also came on as well. I forgot to mention, Bukayo Saka also came on for Sterling. So Saka came on, William Saliba came on, and eventually later in the game, Tierney had to come off. So Gabriel also came on later on as well. But yeah, moving on to the second half. So a much improved second half. As soon as the likes of Saka came on, Saliba, etc., you just instantly... Oh yeah, Odegaard as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention. That's who else came on, of course. Martin Odegaard also came on in replacement of Nwaneri. So just as a summary, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and eventually Gabriel and Saliba. So Saliba, Gabriel, Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, they were our substitutions throughout the second half. And as soon as the likes of them came on, the difference was just instantly noticeable. We played so much better. And literally as soon as Odegaard and Saka came on, the difference in our attack was just night and day. It was night and day. As much as Nwaneri is a great player, Ethan Nwaneri, he is still young, he's still inexperienced, and he didn't have a particularly great game. But Martin Odegaard came through, stepped up, and as you can see from my stars list, he is one of the people that I've put down as one of the stars. But we'll get onto that in a little bit. But yeah, moving on to the second half. So the first goal, of course, from Gabriel Jesus, a really nice ball from Martin Odegaard, and then Gabriel Jesus dinks it over Dean Henderson to make it 1-0. A really nice goal, and you could instantly just see how much it meant to Gabriel Jesus. And of course, Gabriel Jesus on this evening got a hat-trick, the man of the match. And you guys know how much I've been backing Gabriel Jesus. I've even mentioned it before, how I'm confident that he'll come good and how I do really like him as a player, and that hasn't changed. And yes, finally, so of course, I couldn't be more ecstatic for him. So happy, a hat-trick. We'll get onto the other goals as well, but yeah, could not be more happy for Gabriel Jesus, and it feels so good to finally be able to actually give him some praise instead of having to talk about how he had a bad performance. So super happy for Gabriel Jesus, genuinely couldn't be happier, and just really hoping he carries this on now. But yeah, I'm someone who is a massive Jesus fan. I've backed him really since he's been at Arsenal, and so to see him come good, get a hat-trick, easily put on his best ever performance in an Arsenal shirt, it feels fantastic and really happy for him. But in terms of the first goal, a great ball by Martin Odegaard, and then Gabriel Jesus with a really nice chip right over Dean Henderson, a great finish. And yeah, finally, and then from there, it was a lot more, I'd say it was a lot more comfortable for us following that goal. Obviously, whenever you concede, it's always going to be tough until you find the equaliser, and Gabriel Jesus stepped up, did that, a great assist by Martin Odegaard. And then from there, the game kind of just, started to be a bit more in our favour. Palace were getting the occasional chance, but for the most part, following that first goal, I'd say that we were more in control, and we were doing a lot better, which of course was great to see. And then, not too long after the first goal, Gabriel Jesus scores once again. This time it was Bukayo Saka who again slots a really nice ball to Gabriel Jesus, and then Jesus hits it with huge power right into that bottom left corner. And that was actually the case for both his second and his third goal. He would hit it in the bottom left and just absolutely rifled it in. I think one thing that Gabriel Jesus has often been quite underrated for is the power that he has. He has really good shot power, and he certainly demonstrated that with his second and third goals. Absolutely just rifled the ball in for that second goal into that bottom left corner, and we were 2-1 up. And from there, it was a lot better. It was a lot more just, the game from there was pretty much more relaxed, better. We played more. And then, of course, heading into the third goal, which again wasn't too long after. Once again, a great ball by Martin Odegaard. So this is the reason why Martin Odegaard is on the stars list, because he provided 2 assists. But yeah, a great ball from range. And then Gabriel Jesus receives it and once again just really hits it hard into that bottom left. And then after that, game done, game wrapped up. Or so we thought. Actually, it did end up being less comfortable than, of course, we would have expected. And that's because of Eddie Nketiah, the former Arsenal man. He comes back, he gets genuinely one of the best headers I've ever seen. So Klein puts a really nice ball to him, and then genuinely speaking, this is one of the best headers I've ever seen. Like, this was unreal from Nketiah. What a goal. Nothing David Raya could have done about it. It was seriously one of the best headers I've ever seen. And then of course Eddie Nketiah points to his wrist and shows that there's more time, which he was right, there definitely was. And certainly after Nketiah's goal, the game was a lot less comfortable than it would have been. Palace started just going all over us, really just putting on the pressure, and we started having to waste a bit of time. But this is football. Sometimes you do concede a late goal, it does become nervy, but I'm just glad that we didn't try and have a big ego and try and just attack again, because you can't be doing that. When you're only 1 goal ahead, you don't want to be attacking like crazy and therefore get countered. So yeah, we did have to waste some time. I know it's not pretty, but this is football. Teams do it. This is just how it is. But yeah, eventually the full-time whistle went and we're on to the Carabao Cup semi-final. And another player that... Now let's go ahead and get onto the stars of the game. So this is a new segment that I've introduced in both my shorts and also as part of the podcast, where I'm just going to talk about the 3 best performers, who I thought were the 3 best performers of the game, and also why I felt like that way. So the first one is very self-explanatory. Gabriel Jesus, a hat-trick, man of the match, fantastic performance, easily his best ever in an Arsenal shirt, and just delighted for him. And it was cool to see him do the heart towards his daughter as well, and that's what I've got in the picture there. That's him doing a heart towards his daughter, and it was really cool. And he even mentioned in the post-match interview how his daughter really inspired him, and of course it's really cool to hear stuff like that. So yeah, great performance, man of the match, his best ever performance in an Arsenal shirt without a doubt, and a brilliant performance. So of course Gabriel Jesus goes at the top of the stars list, and whoever's at the top of the stars list is essentially obviously who I'm saying is the man of the match. So yeah, for me, obviously Gabriel Jesus. Next, we've got Martin Odegaard. As I said, he came off the bench, so he didn't actually start this game. It was Nwaneri, but as soon as he came off the bench, the difference in our attack was night and day. He was just brilliant, creating loads of great chances. Of course, he got the 2 assists that I mentioned earlier, and yeah, just our attack was so lethargic and so just not good in the first half. It was slow. It was just, yeah, it really was not good in the first half. But as soon as Martin Odegaard came on, the electricity of the attack just instantly went up. Far better runs, far better pace, far better attack. And of course, Martin Odegaard got the 2 assists to Gabriel Jesus, and they were 2 very good passes as well. They were genuinely very, very good passes. And then we've also got Kieran Tierney, someone who I haven't actually mentioned yet. Kieran Tierney, welcome back. Of course, if you guys don't know, Kieran Tierney suffered a pretty nasty injury in the Euros, and he's been out since then. So this is his first game back, and I thought he was really good. For such a long absence and for such a long time out, I thought he was fantastic. Kieran Tierney did really well, was genuinely brilliant in this game. Really good defending, some good passing, and just a very solid performance. Of course, he did have to come off early, but that's understandable. It's his first game back, so obviously his fitness isn't going to be all the way there. That's understandable. Hopefully it wasn't an injury, but from what I can tell, I think it was genuinely just fitness. Of course, it's his first game back in, since the Euros, since June. So of course, he's not going to be all there yet. But absolutely ecstatic for him. Really good performance. Great to see him back. Hopefully he'll carry on getting some minutes. In the league, will he get minutes? We'll have to see. I hope he does, but of course, there is Jurrien Timber's just incredible right now. But yeah, Kieran Tierney is my final star of the game. Really good performance after so long out. So they're the 3 stars of this game: Jesus, Odegaard, and Tierney, in my opinion. Of course, if you guys want to add someone else, please let me know. If you disagree, please let me know. And this will be another good way to increase the engagement on the channel. If you guys could please let me know down below who you thought the 3 best performances of this game was. Please do let me know. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for my analysis of this game. So all in all, a 3-2 game, an absolute thriller. Gabriel Jesus with a hat-trick, Mateta and Nketiah with goals. Of course, Nketiah with one of the best headers I've ever seen. And again, massive respect to Nketiah for not overly celebrating. Of course, he did, really cool to see him not celebrating too much, because that was a fantastic header. Like, that header was excellent. Honestly, I know I could go on about it, but genuinely one of the best headers I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, that's going to wrap up for my analysis of this game. Now, at the time of recording, it's the morning after the game, so I don't actually know. So as of recording, I don't know who we have in the semi-final, because the Tottenham-Manchester United game is yet to happen. So, of course, I don't know who we're going to get in the semi-final. Of course, the draw will be right after that game. So, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Of course, we've got Palace again on Saturday, and it will be tough. This is not an easy game. I didn't think it'd be easy regardless, but especially now with the fact that Palace actually did well against us at the Emirates, I do think that now they're going to be really coming in. Of course, now we've got them at Selhurst Park, and Selhurst Park is a place that we definitely normally find tough. Like, it's not an easy place by any means, but hopefully we can get the 3 points, and especially a much needed 3 points after a disappointing, a very disappointing 0-0 draw against Everton. Liverpool also have a fairly tough game. They've got Tottenham away, so not exactly easy. They'll probably still win, but point is, it's an opportunity for us to get 3 points, and then hopefully Liverpool can drop some points. But yeah, a much needed 3 points. We've beaten them once. Let's hopefully beat them again, but this time it is going to be at Selhurst Park. So yeah, but of course, in terms of the other video I'm releasing, this will probably be released tomorrow. So yeah, just in terms of the upcoming videos on the channel before I go. So tomorrow I've got my Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk 2 prediction video, so do look out for that. Of course, a massive fight, and I'm really excited for that. So that's going to be my video tomorrow, my prediction for Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk 2. Then on Saturday, it's going to be my Arsenal Crystal Palace reaction. It's going to be kind of late, but I think I'm just going to get it out on Saturday, because of course that's then going to lead to Sunday, where I'm going to be releasing my Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk 2 reaction video. I want to release it as soon as the fight's over. It's a huge fight, and I definitely want to be posting a video about it. So that's going to be the rest of this week's videos. So today was this one. Tomorrow it's going to be Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk 2 prediction. Saturday it's going to be Arsenal Crystal Palace prediction oh my god, sorry, I've completely lost it. Arsenal Crystal Palace reaction again, so of course that's going to be the Premier League one. And then Sunday it's going to be the Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury 2 reaction video. So that's the final few videos I've got of the week. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. We're only 2 subscribers off my 50 subscriber goal by the end of the year, so if you guys want to help me out with that, please do. Please like, subscribe, turn on all notifications. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Please let me know what you thought of Arsenal's performance versus Palace, and how you feel about Arsenal's chances in the Carabao Cup. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys with another podcast soon. Bye bye.